Welcome back to another edition of WCW 2005 here in TEW 2020, and it's time for the road to Starrcade to truly begin as Bound for Glory is over, and now 4 weeks to go till Starrcade for the granddaddy of them all, live from Houston, Texas. But what Nitro starts out with is the man who is still your WCW World Champion, Chuck Palumbo, coming out down to the ring with Raven Rain, and he takes the mic and says, "Last night I went to war. I went to war with Brother Ray. I went to war with Paul London, and I've heard the plaudits and all the critics talking about how great the match was and how we went to the next level. But the reality is, only one man went to the next level, and that man is me, because I'm still the WCW World Champion, and I proved last night I'm still the best in the business. And here's the thing, I'm not going to deny that Brother Ray is great. I'm not going to deny that Paul London is great. You don't get into a main event of a pay-per-view without either a whole ton of luck or being really good, really talented, really tough. But I'm just that much tougher. I'm just that much better. Because I was molded to be a world champion. And here I am, going to Starrcade as the best in the business. I want to talk about everybody who's great, but not quite great enough. AJ Styles. It's Starrcade season, and that means you earned and kept your title shot last night against 3 other men. And you're rocking in thinking, you're going to be the man who takes down Chuck Palumbo. You're going to be the man at the end of Starrcade standing tall as everybody in Houston celebrates. But here's reality. Here's a reality check for you, AJ. I'm not saying it's going to be a walkover or it's not going to be tough, because you're being a tough competitor. But as long as I'm the WCW World Champion, you're not ready to be the man. You'll be ready, not this year, not this next year, as long as I got this belt around my waist. Starrcade is where legends are made, AJ. Starrcade is where the best of the best prove their worth. And AJ, at the granddaddy of them all, you're going to find out what it's like to be in the ring with the best in the business. You're going to find out what it's like to be in the ring with the WCW World Champion. You're going to find out what it's like to fail. In 4 weeks in Houston, Texas, I'm going to remind everybody why I'm the world champion, why I'm at the top of this business, and why I've got this belt. It's Starrcade season. Let's roll. So there you go. Really good promo. 100. Just for Palumbo. Just, again, still, he's the world champion, so I want him Nitro, even though basically a lot of the feud's going to be on Revolution, but he's not going to be totally off Nitro for the road to Starrcade, obviously. But 100, good stuff as we move forward to our opening match, which is Maverick Chance, Hayajudo Hataka, Great Suzuki, and Lee Skipper doing some spots for a few minutes. Of course, Maverick Chance made his big debut last night, helping out Jack Evans in his tag team match against Austin Aries and Eddy Guerrero after Teddy Hart, well, we're not going to talk about him anymore. So he comes out, makes his official in-ring debut as far as singles match go, and yeah, it's 5 minutes. Skipper gets his spots, Suzuki gets to hit his big spots, but Maverick Chance is sort of the guy who shines here, and he gets the big win here, pinning the Great Suzuki in a 55. Chance gets a 56, Hataka gets a 64, Suzuki gets a 69, Skipper gets a 63. So in the pre-show, ding, but what can you do? And as Maverick celebrates as the announcers put over a big win here in his singles in-ring debut here on Nitro as another brand new member of the Cruiserweight division. So let's get to 32 because it's a minute and Chance isn't quite over, but we'll work on that. Then we cut backstage where the Roberts are, Reckless still has the Cruiserweight Championship. Tracy is Tracy. And I forgot to set Austin and Maverick is off screen. Not the end of the world. Just pretend they're not there. But as, Robert talked about, looking at, basically doing the typical, post-match, people looking at the TV spot, Bischoff looks in, says, looking at scouting the competition, Reckless, and Reckless says, I want to say their competition. And Bischoff says, well, you better be ready for Starrcade. And, Tracy says, yes, we know, ignition, ladder match, 6-man, we did it before, we'll do it again, and we'll still walk out of Starrcade proving my brother is the best cruiserweight in the business today. And Bischoff said anything about a ladder match. No, you see, in order to be great at this business, you have to evolve and you have to expand your horizons. Controversy creates cash, and next week I'm going to announce the next evolution in cruiserweight wrestling. And you, as a champ, well, you better be ready. So 78, good stuff moving forward. And yeah, Bischoff really helped there. And okay, yeah, there we go. See, this is why honestly I can do some like kind of wacky matches as far as like TV matches, because these angles really hold things. So this is a very sort of involved backstage segment. So first we basically have Mike Awesome backstage, you know, talking about, you know, last night I almost beat Keenan. I'm going to prove I'm the baddest man in this company, one way or the other, however I got to do it. I'm going to take it to the extreme, and I'm going to prove why I was a former king of extreme and why I ruled that land. And then we hear somebody say, blah, 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 blah. And we turn around, and it's Ken Anderson with a TV title on his shoulder. Anderson says, I've heard you whining and crying and talk about how great you were a couple years back. Well, awesome. You may have been a big brawler in front of the people in Philadelphia, but this isn't Philly anymore. This is WCW, where the big boys play. And you're not just a big boy anymore, aren't you? You've gotten your ass kicked over and over and over again now that you got your cry from backup. And my awesome buddy fights says, hey, you want to brawl? We can do this all night long, brother. So you talk to Bischoff, and I'll get you in that ring, and I'll kick your ass just like you got your ass kicked by Keenan last night. And then Anderson turns around right into the chosen few. And, you know, Garrett's like, Slapnuts, what the hell do you think you were getting involved in our business last night? Ken's like, your business? Like, you guys were attacking Sean O'Haire just because he whooped your ass again, Jeff, and your guys couldn't take it. And, you know, Jarrett says back, like I said, get involved in our business. Anderson, you think if you got lucky and you got some TV title gold, you're something special. We're nothing special, Slapnuts. You're just another punk kid who thinks he's something special, unlike my chosen few. Then in comes the Truth, who, you know, raps about this, and then we get some like back and forth over the Truth, you know, not defending the title at Bound for Glory. You know, Truth says, you know, he's ready to take on anybody, and then basically, you know, Jarrett says, well, if you're really ready to defend the title, why don't you take on my man, Magnificent Mark Jindrak, a former champion himself, and he can take that title off your right off your waist. And, you know, Truth basically accepts, and looks like we got a main event later tonight of the Truth versus Mark Jindrak for the United States title. 100, good stuff, all these guys, yeah. And yeah, I know, I go to make push to Anderson, because why the hell not? And then we have a backstage segment where Brother Ray walks in the Goldberg's locker room. They basically put over, they've got a tag team match against Helms and Tomko tonight. And Goldberg basically asks if Ray's going to be focused, you know, or if he's over, you know, last night. And Ray's like, look, I wish I could walk in here as a WC World Champion. I'm ready to kick ass. Titus Tomko, you know, you think you're special because you used to be at the beck and call of some corrupt politicians and kings and everybody else? No, that's not fighting. Fighting in the ring is being ready to get through tables. And one night after going through a hell of a match, getting in that ring again. So yeah, you think you got a big shot in on Goldberg last night? Well, the man is at my side now. And tonight, we're ready to say one thing. And they both say, who's next? So there you go. Basically, settlement. It's Brother Ray and Bill Goldberg teaming up to take on Shane Helms and Titus Tomko later tonight. Of course, after Helms and Tomko basically attacked Goldberg to cause a DQ in the Goldberg-Tomko match. 99, good stuff, because, again, these guys. And then, okay. Oops. Okay, I messed up the booking here. Okay. I set the wrong, okay, yep, I set the, okay, so, of course, as set up last night, you know, a couple weeks ago, Toland Leppan wants some competition. Bischoff said, you know, he was former world champion, former Mesias Morningstar, and this is his match, and it's just, like, ignore what the game says. What actually happened here is, you know, Toland Leppan, or, you know, wrestling, and the interesting thing is they actually seem to be more in sync than Mesias Morningstar, because, you know, as the entrance put over, Mesias Morningstar have not been teaming lately, outside of, you know, big brawls with the former, with the Nest that they're now a member of. Raven's at ringside, you know, basically walking around, doing riveting things. And, you know, but eventually, you know, Mesias gets in the ring, and he's Mesias, so he trick slams, fools, he throws people around. Eventually, Morningstar is in the ring, and right in front of the ref, you know, as he has actually set Leppan out for the Angel's Wings, Raven rolls in, pushes Morningstar aside, picks up Leppan, and nails him with an even flow. Toland comes in and actually gets hit with an even flow as well after a, you know, 2-on-1. And the ref calls for the bell, obviously giving the win to Toland Leppan. And Morningstar seems confused. And, you know, Toland Leppan roll out, basically, you know, not wanting none of this. As this gets 70, Toland gets a 66, Leppan gets a 78, Mesias gets an 82, Morningstar gets a 93. And Morningstar actually looks like he's about to go after Raven, when Raven takes the mic and he says, "Remember your place, Morningstar. You lost. You did your best, but Deadpool is no more, and you are now a member of the Nest. Do not question my methods. Do not question my madness. Do not question what my plan is." You see, this tag match was in a long run, not about victory or defeat. It was about reminding people who we are, the Nest. So remember your place as a servant. And Morningstar, it looks angry here and looks ready to fight, but he remembers, part of the rules are that, he has to accept his place under Raven. And Mesias just looks scary and ready to kill somebody because he's Mesias. But there, furthering this gets a 96. Yeah. Hey, turns out Raven, good at promos. So is Morningstar. And then we go backstage where Jordan Borash is asking Jack Evans about his, match against, Maverick against Eddie and Austin Aries last night. Evans basically disappointed. Says, he had to find a partner last minute, but he wants to get in that ring and prove why he's the hottest star in this business right now and take on Eddy Guerrero one-on-one. And in comes Eddie. He says, "Did I just hear that, Holmes? Did I just hear that you wanted a match on-one against a former world champion, against the best wrestler on the planet, just because, what? Your cousin, friend, brother, whatever your relation is gone? Because you've got no backup now? You think that's going to make you more able to defeat me, Eddy Guerrero?" I say, get that thought out of your head. I'm going to let you walk away. I thought maybe you had gotten something through your head last night, and you could move on, and I could move on. So get that thought out of your head and walk away, or else I'm going to have to show you the true meaning of Guerrero family values. And he walks away, and Jack Evans looks defiant, and looks like this feud must continue, as this gets an 87. And then we had another big segment as Alex Wright comes out to the ring. And, big boos as he, of course, beat Chavo Guerrero last night. And, he basically, sneers at them as they boo and says, "Do you hear yourself? You boo me as if it'll change the fact that I am better than my former partners. Desiree, Chavo, you were lesser than me and you always were. And I was finally reminded of the fact, and I tore through you like, as you Americans say, hot butter." But the question is where does Des Wunderbar Alex Wright go from here? I am finally done with old business, and it's time for new business, to go up and up and up. But I need true competition who can at least appear to be at my league before I rise to the top and prove I am the greatest rising star in this business today. And then cue Kenny's music to a big pop as he comes up to the top of the ramp and, has the mic and says, wait, I heard a call about competition. And here's the thing, right? That was a bit of business you did last night. And look, you got the pinfall victory, you won, and you proved, you're at least better than your former partner. Even though, you're champions when you were together, and now you don't have any belts, it looks like. But if you want to fight, if you want to battle, you want to brawl, you want some competition, well, I'll be your Huckleberry. Right? Throw looks amused. And he says, "Kenyon, you're a former world champion. And that would be quite a bullet point on my resume. And last night you defeated Mike Awesome. And that gives you credit. But you're not going to be in a ring with a brawling extremist. You know what I mean? You're in the ring with Des Wunderbar. And the epitome of wrestling excellence today." Kenyon then fires back. "You talk about excellence? Excellence is about getting that ring every single night and going for the top. Excellence is fighting everybody who's the name of this business and coming out on top. I've been invented Starrcade. I've won world titles. I've battled with the best and come out on top. And right, you want to prove yourself? That's fine. Be ready for some true competition in that ring." Right says, Other men have already tried to take me down and beg and failed. When I beat you, and make no mistake, I'm going to beat you. I will prove I'm the future of this company, and there's not a thing you or anybody else will be able to do about Das Wonder. Bar. Keenan just ends by saying, well, Wright, be careful what you ask for, because I'm not just anybody, I'm Keenan. And after I'm done with you, everybody asking one question. Who's better than Keenan? Big Pop, and the answer will be, Grab Pops, nobody. And there we go. So it seems like we have a new feud here as this gets a 99. Fun stuff. And then we cut backstage where Trevor Rush is with the Hardys, as Boris basically asks him about the triple threat tag match last night, and says Hardys basically they're disappointed, but that happens, and Keo got the win, and they're the tag champions, but they're gonna be ready to go after those tag battles when they're ready. And then Boris asks about hit them AMW getting into each other's faces after the match, and Hardy's like, look, we understand where the AMW are coming from. Like, we were like them, yet, rising stars looking to rise to the top. But we're happy to get in the ring with them again and prove their mettle. Because you see, Harris, Storm, you want to be the best, you got to give it Pat's best. And we walked in here and became the tag champions for a reason. Because when we prove the best all over this world. So Chris, Harris, James, Storm, you want to get in the ring and face us one more time? We're happy to do it. We aren't hard to find. So 84, decent promo, basically putting over, Hardy's AMD feud is continuing as we move forward here on Nitro. And then we got our fun match here as Ken Anderson takes on Mike Awesome, and it is not a pretty match. It is not a 5-star classic. It is two guys just basically fighting. Not really much of a description. You're just clubbering, maybe a couple big, big suplexes and slams. Maybe an attempt at an Awesome bomb from Awesome that gets turned into a, gets Anderson slips out of, sends Awesome to the corner, and eventually Jeff Jarrett comes down and he tries to get involved and nail Anderson with the guitar, but Anderson gets out of the way. Awesome gets the brunt of it. Anderson tosses Jarrett out, hits him, Kenton bomb, 1, 2, 3, and picks the victory here on Nitro over Mike Awesome in an 81. Awesome gets an 82. Jarrett gets this. Anderson gets a 78. Fun stuff. And of course, in the afterwards, Jarrett calls out Divine and they go after Ken Anderson, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1 when Sean O'Hare comes back out and makes a save and runs off the chosen few as he helps out his new friend, ally, I guess, as this gets a 79. Fun stuff. And then we cut backstage where the new WCW World Tag Team Champions, Nikita, are with the belts, but then in walks in the backstage area, the Evolution, of course, Ric Flair, Claudio Cesaro, and Blaster Lashley. And Flair basically, tells Stacy, you better keep those titles warm because Evolution are coming for them. They're backed by the Nature Boy, the dirtiest player in the game. And yeah, you guys are top tier athletes, and you did good last night. But you're going to the ring with Swiss Powerhouse and All American Wrestling, Blaster Lashley, and they're going to take you apart. Woo! Stacey basically fires back. These men have faced the best in the world and come out on top, and they're not afraid to anybody. They're not afraid of everybody. They gotta earn that championship shot. Which, as I remember, you lost your title shot, didn't you? That's why you weren't Bound for Glory. Then walks Bischoff and says, here's the thing about title shots. They're being given by general managers. But they're not the only team that's going to get a title shot, because in KO, at Starrcade, the tradition is going to continue. Tag turmoil. You're going to walk out with those tag team championships, but are going to walk out. So there you go. Basically, tag turmoil announced for Starrcade. And yeah, we have to see if Nikita walk out with the tag belts. 85, good stuff as we continue stuff. And then we get the tag team match, which is Shane Helms and Titus Tomko taking on Brother Ray and Titus Tomko. And basically almost we get some spots where Helms and Brother Ray get involved. And, basically it's a, Helms gets his shots in because, he's a former world champion. He's a talented wrestler. So, he's not completely at a loss against guys like Brother Ray and Goldberg. He uses guile and quickness and, his talented wrestling arsenal hit the big moves on Ray and Goldberg. But Ray and Goldberg shove them off because, well, look at him, So, eventually we get a double, we get sort of a combination spear and shoulder block, second round shoulder block from Ray and Goldberg on the Titus Tomko. Goldberg is going for a jackhammer when Helms basically, does a chop block. That leads to Helms and Goldberg fighting out of the ring. Well, basically, Goldberg tossing, Goldberg up the ramp, back in ring. Brother Ray takes over, big shoulder block, power slam, lariat, full Nelson bomb, 1, 2, 3. Brother Ray picked the pinfall the night after losing the World Championship match, as it gets an 81. Solid stuff here, as Tom gets a 51, Helms gets a 79, Goldberg gets a 92, Ray gets a 92, and as we're fighting, Helms gets basically thrown past the entrance from the backstage area, but as Goldberg is chasing after him, we see Goldberg walking past sort of the entrance, but then falling back as Helms has a chair, and he whops again, whops him twice, whops him thrice, and Goldberg is down for W's officials, breaks things apart. So Helms gets a bit of revenge here, as this gets a 70. Then, by the replay, the announcers put over some of the best matches in WCW history as we move towards Starrcade. 72. And then it's main event time. Yeah, okay. Oof. Yeah, okay. So I risked this because Truth was injured, but I wanted to make this title match a big deal. I don't think it totally screws over my show. Honestly, matches weren't much on the show. But hey, it's a Angle company, right? It's WCW. Where the big boys play and all that. But this is basically a more an Angle match than, Jindrak and Truth. Not exactly 5-star classics here, but they do their work. Jindrak gets in a power slam, Truth hits corkscrew elbows, some brawling. But eventually there's a ref bump, and in comes Simply Johnny Divine to drop to Truth from behind, and then they hit a quick double team maneuver, and Jindrak then hits his finisher. 1, 2, 3. Mark Jindrak is your new United States champion right here on Nitro. So this gets a 77. Jindrak gets a 77. Truth gets a 71. Again, injury was unfortunate, and that's will be part of the story. That's actually part of the match. Is just say Truth has bone chips in his elbow. He's getting worked on, but he's defending his title anyway, and now he has lost the United States Championship right here on Nitro. And the show ends with the heel celebrating to the boos of the crowd. Overall, this gets us an 80. Still an 88, because again, you can have a crappy main event when you have multiple, basically 100 segments. Good stuff. Again, not our best show, but we're building towards Starrcade now, and this is all about setting up all the matches for Starrcade. Even though they're not officially announced, you can basically see where we're going here. The Ignition Cruiserweight match, Tag Turmoil, Helms Goldberg, Evans Eddy, Keenan Wright, and seemingly, something with Ken Anderson and Jarrett. And what is the Truth going to do? We'll have to see. A rematch? Or who knows? Right. Okay. So there's some stuff I'm not going to spoil as far as what I'm doing as far as chasing after people. But yeah, so there's some stuff which I'll pull up here just because we need to go over it. But anyway, first, right, that'll be a lot of spoilers. So let me just make sure one thing. All right, yeah, nothing of interest. So Raw had 89, so solid stuff from them. We had Viscera going over Fit Finley by DQ. We had DDP and Sandman Maven defeated Crowbar, Lance Kidd and Christian York by DQ. Sure. With Skyfall, Kai Malone defeat Thrasher. Molly Holly and Amber James defeat Jamie Keys and Olympus Love in a 78. We had Chris Jericho defeat Charlie Haas in a random 88. Good stuff, guys. Big Show defeat Rick Steiner and Vampiro in a tables match. Okay. And Kurt Angle and Edge defeated the Outcasts of Ryan, Tommy, and Dreamer, and this match got a 99. Jesus Christ, game. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's just see these bidding wars, at least ones I want to spoil for you guys. So this is going to take a minute. First, Alex Wright. Let's see here. Your offer is not serious. Okay, so we offered him $150,000 for a year. Let's see here. We got $290,000 for 2 years with a bonus. And yeah, okay. So Woo! Let's do $210,000 for 2 years with $125,000 bonus. And yeah, let's do a bonus of 40% per event. Ooh, okay. So that's another thing I wanted to do. There might have been slight. So, and this is something to look into if you're on your game. So a thing about this game is, which I totally forgot about, is basically part of what your, like how much you're allowed to offer is based on the owner's personal wealth. But the issue is here is that Eric Bischoff is not really the owner of the company. This is FuseNet, but that's not how the game, I think, does it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push Bischoff into a billionaire as far as personal wealth. Like, this won't, like, fix things totally. There will still be limits on, like paying people. But I think that makes sense. Like, it'd be one thing if this was actually backed by Bischoff. But this is basically Bischoff versus FuseNet. And just in-game, like, it makes sense that way. So, and here's the thing. That didn't really affect even the amount we were to offer. You know, because, like, if we push it to, like, 210 again, Bischoff still says no, which means this is probably a populated cap, unfortunately. Which, again, I'm fine with. Like, you know, stuff happens. And like that, there might be spoilers on some people I'm offering stuff. But hey, anyway. Okay, so London is offers for 3 companies. Right now, $175,000, 4 years. Okay. GW. Okay, so we just need to throw in a 50% merch cut. Let's try $200,000 for you. Let's do a bonus of 40% per event. And there you go. Now I got Mike Awesome. And here's something we're actually have to go and think about. So right now, we offered Mike $150,000 for a year. Events and A shows, 30%, you know, merchandise offers. And they're offering him $120,500 per month for 2 years, 20% per event with a higher merch cut and a signing bonus. So first thing we're going to try is we're just going to try to give him a bigger signing bonus and see if that helps matters. Okay. So now we have to actually think about things. Is Awesome actually worth, like, keeping up for 2 years? Because I have ideas for him for next year, slightly. But here's reality. He's good, but he's not somebody who's I'm ever going to push at the top, even though he has really good rating, just because, like there's just guys you can picture as, like, sort of, like, top-tier main event guys, and mid-2000s Mike Awesome is just not that guy. Even though this is a different version who hopefully is not as much into drugs and, like, has been a strong part of the WC roster, like, he's just not the guy. So I think what I'll do here, let me see if 18 months. Can we do 18 months? We cannot do 18 months. That's what I forgot. If we push it up to 50%, and then if we do a bonus of 50% event, do you slide it? No. Okay. Honestly, okay. Yeah, I mean, this might be the end of Mike Awesome in WCW. Again, keep on. Okay, and this is actually interesting because Mesias Morningstar, of course, has been just a long-time partner of Nikita Kalt, and we sort of honestly offered a lowball contract. So yeah, what is okay? So they just gave her a signing bonus. Eric, come on, be nice. All right. What's better? This 2 years? Oh, bonus. Okay. There you go. So yeah, that's our current offers out for people. Also, we have some other people resigning who's not getting lots of stuff, other offers, and you probably have some spoilers from people I'm offering. Some of those offers you've seen are serious. Some of those are more let's make WWE pay their roster more. But we'll just see how that goes. Anyway, I'll be back in just a second with Revolution. All right, it's time for Revolution live from beautiful San Diego, California, and that means Bianca 619 and Maverick Chance Jr. comes out to the ring. Wait, actually, it's Paul Heyman along with Rob Van Dam, and the crowd is not happy about that, and you know they smirk and they laugh, and Paul Heyman does Paul Heyman things as they come out of the ring. You know, as the music changes to walk, you know Heyman plays up Rob Van Dam, the number 1 wrestler in the world, Mr. Wednesday Night. Mr. Pay-Per-View, the one of a kind, defeating Rey Mysterio Jr. right in the middle of the ring. Just don't mention the chair and the Man Terminator and all that fun stuff. And RVD says, I promised And I delivered, because I'm Rob Van Dam, man. And this is just another step on my way back to the top. It doesn't matter who's world champion after Starrcade, Chuck Palumbo, AJ Styles, it doesn't matter, because I'm the best wrestler on the planet. And I've got my advocate, Paulie. And he takes Mike and says, that's right, I'm an advocate. I am an advocate for Rob Van Dam. Thank you. Now Bjork9 hits one more time, and out comes Ray Jr. Says, now gets a big pop. Top of says, that was cute, guys, but what happened last night was pretty simple. I had you, Rob, and your sleazy, scummy, pus-filled maggot of a manager, Heyman, got involved. Deep down, Rob, deep in your heart, beyond all your ego and your tough talk, to the wrestler, the great wrestler that I once knew, you knew that you didn't really beat me last night. And if I got in that ring one more time, I'd be flying down the sky and pin you 1, 2, 3. And there's an argument, and then out comes Chuck Palumbo as he comes down to the ring. There's a little stare down between him and Ray, because obviously Palumbo took the title off of Ray back at Fall Brawl, right? Yeah, Fall Brawl. And then not quite. Anyway, and Palumbo says, wait. Damn, I just heard you saying you're going to take the title off me, whoever's the champion. Well, first of all, it's going to be me, Chuck Palumbo, the leader of Revolution, and now the leader of the whole entire World Championship Wrestling. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm the champ for a reason. And if somebody tries to cash it on me, they're not going to fail. They're not going to succeed like they did against you. If anyone fires back at, AJ is attacking you from behind, blah, blah, blah. And then out comes AJ Styles to a big pop. The call shot winner, holder of the call shot, who's cashing in at Starrcade, says, well. Seems like we got a bunch of people who are upset at each other. Ray wants a little revenge against RVD. Palumbo, you want to take me on? So we have a little tag team match tonight. Me and RVD against you two in the main event of Revolution. And the match is made, everybody agrees, and 98, good stuff to open things up. And we come back to an opening match as Paul London, your commentator in the triple threat last night, gets a decent match out of Sonny Siaki. Back and forth match, Siaki gets his shots in. But, it's Paul London, who was just main event at 100 last night, and it's Siaki, who honestly has not been doing much, limited time and such. Anyway, Siaki eventually falls, sets it to the drop salt, but, we'll have London hit the shooting star press, 1, 2, 3, and pick up the big victory. Here to open up Revolution, this gets a 70, mostly off of Paul London getting a 93. Siaki gets a 60, and then London takes the mic and basically says, it's true. Last night, I'm not the WC World Champion, Chuck Palumbo still is. I wish it was something different, but that's the reality, and I gotta live in that reality. But that doesn't mean I'm done. I'm going to get to the top of this business sooner or later. But I want to thank all the fans for their support last night at Bound for Glory and so far at WCW, but this road is not finished. This story is not finished. We're going to do this together, then we get to the top. Just a little Bayface promo to put over London as we move on Revolution here. This gets an 81. Fun stuff. And then we get a promo backstage with Booker and Shelton as they hype up their tag team match later tonight against Lance Storm and Billy Kidman. These two teams will finally meet in the ring, 2-on-2, as they've had single matches, tag 6-man matches, other types of matches, but never just a plain old, tag team match. And basically they hype each other up. Booker says, last night was, tough. I sucka. I could have gone call shot, but things didn't work out. And Shelton, walk the TV champion, but these kind of things happen. We're here together tonight in San Diego, and we're gonna kick some ass. Storm, Kidman, you've got your way out of matches against us before, but now 2-on-2, we're doing this tag team business style, old school, just like I used to with Stevie Ray. Shelton, talks about, rising to the occasion here. He's wrestled in big tag team matches before in other places, and he's ready to do it tonight. And Booker says, can you dig that? And there you go. 78, not bad. Actually rated Shelton. They got to rate him eventually to get him over, right? Oops. Then we move forward with, this is pushed up because we're in the Southwest where the Women's Death Fed was, but still a very, very, very good match. As basically, Desiree Dawson and Angel Foxx both got involved in the grit and glam club, brawl for the women's tag titles last night at Bound for Glory. Sunday at Bound for Glory, so now they're facing off. And it's a very solid match. Desiree Dawson gets to be the sort of, not like undersized, but sort of like, the smaller, fiery, annoying fire plug heel going after Angel Foxx. Angel Foxx gets some big moves in. And eventually, Angel Foxx, Dawkins goes for a big spear. Angel Foxx gets out of the way. He nails her with the Angel Snap right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and a big victory for Angel Foxx right here on Revolution, as this gets a 75. Desiree Dawkins gets 69. Angel Foxx gets a 72. But then in comes Captivation to get a little bit more revenge on their former friend. And then, after a moment, in comes, out of nowhere, Celine Cartier and all that Alexander to make the save to drive out Captivation, as this gets a 61. Fun stuff, just baby faces who have been on the show for a bit, making the save for the kind of freshly turned babyface as we build up the undercard of the women's division here on Revolution, as this gets a 61, like I said. And then we have a sort of like, videotape segment as we have Keenan Sharpe, in a Muay Thai ring, like taking care of people, doing kicks, takedowns, all that good stuff, as there's a voiceover Sharpe saying, "The path is not about what is righteous, but what needs to be sacrificed for victory. Those who will follow me on the path will be led to that greatness." And Keith Walker, you're upset over what happened to your manager. Your manager got you into this mess, and you should follow me instead. I do not feel sorry about what happened to her. But if you truly think you can defeat me, I will face you in the fighting pit, and I will prove to you that this path is the only righteous one. There we go. 77. Good stuff. Sharpe solid. Honestly, I don't say like a lost year for him, but never quite pushed to where I want him. But still, good stuff as we're building up to him versus Keith Walker. And then we have a very big segment here as, Nikita Kalt comes down to the ring to a big heel pop as your new Women's World Champion. And, she takes mic and says, "Last night at Bound for Glory, you all witnessed a birth of a new era here in WCW. An era of excellence, an era of icy cold vengeance, an era of dominance, all under my grip." Boos. And, she talks about Tricia Sky saying, "Tricia Sky, I will not deny, is a great wrestler. But she cannot stand to my skill, my precision, my excellence that I bring to this ring. And now this championship will stay with me around my waist where it belongs. Whoever wants to face me at Starrcade will have to face someone who has ice in their veins, and will make you have true options to tap or hear your bones snap." Then you hear some big music as Joey Lawler comes down to a big pop as she comes down and right into the ring and steps up against Nikita Kalt. And, she takes the mic and says, "Nice versus Nikita, but here's the reality. You want to talk about new eras? I built this era of women's wrestling by coming to WCW and making something of it. I'm still the next evolution of women's wrestling, and I'm ready to take you on. Because old business is over as Gail Kim got powerbombed right off that ramp and out of my business. And now I'm ready to get back to where I should be, challenging for the WCW Women's World Championship that should be around my waist." Kalt fires back, "Your trailblazer once for all line, but that time has passed. The spotlight now belongs to me." And, Lawler basically says, "I could take you apart right now, but fine, you want me to prove it? You get in the ring with your little partner. I'll bring ODB as a partner, just like we brawled last week against Gail Kim and her partner, and we'll take you apart, and we'll prove that I deserve to be the next WCW Women's World Champion." And, Nikita basically says, "That's fine with me. You can bring your little partner if she's not drunk or whatever. The next week you'll find out I am the Women's World Champion. It'll just be another chapter in the era of my dominance." Joni fires back, and you'll be reminded why I'm the next evolution of women's wrestling. So tag match set for next week. This gets a 93. Fun stuff. And then we have Monty Brown killing Dean Malenko in 2 minutes. Again, Malenko is just here to work off his contract. Unfortunately, his skills are really bad in ring now. I mean, he's not terrible, but like he's not pushable anymore. So 70, Monty gets an 81, Malenko gets a 43, just a complete squash. Like nothing, here. And then Monty takes the mic and says, "Last night, Bound for Glory was a 4-way match. And here's reality. I didn't get pinned. I didn't walk out the winner, but I'm still the alpha male. Only the strong survive in WCW. And last night I proved the alpha male is just that. Strong, dominant, and not conquerable. AJ Styles, you have the Starrcade title shot. But it was Kidman getting pinned, not me. And now we're on the road to Starrcade. And one or the other, the alpha male will be a part of it. Whoever faces me will have to accept they're walking the ring the man, walking the ring alpha male, a predator, the apex predator in WWE today. The Serengeti is fighting us, and I will do what I do best. Hunt, conquer, and dominate. Whoever comes in this ring will just know they're victim of the pounce. 82, good stuff. We'll just see what Monty Brown does for Starrcade. And then we have a backstage segment where we have Kidman, Storm, and April Hunter. And, Kidman, is a little bit upset that now both people brought up he got pinned. He says, it was BS. It should never have been a 4-way match. Booker and Monty stuck their nose where they didn't belong. If I could have got AJ in that ring, 1-on-1, I could have taken them down, and I'd be main event Starrcade like I deserve. And, when sort of, gets a statement look, Billy, we need to be serious for a moment. Bookers, Sheltons are talented athletes. They're not good as us. We need to be on our A game and focused on them if we want to win tonight. Are you focused? Yes, of course I'm focused. We both lost last night. We need to get back on the right path together. Storm agrees, and they're ready to roll. 92, good stuff. I was moving forward to the big tag match later tonight. And then we cut backstage where Amy Wilbur is with American Most Wanted, and she asks him about the Hardys' comments on Nitro and the end of the tag team triple threat at Bound for Glory. And, everybody basically says, look, Hardys, we have got all the respect in the world for you. But, man, we're up to here with how cloying and how pretentious you are about this. Like getting your high horse about how great you've been since TEW, that's fine. We can admit you've been great. But we're not little kids here just stepping into this. We've been running this division for years. We have 4 tag team title reigns to our name. We've been successful in other places, and even successful in WWE now. But, and then Storm says this, if you really think you can get past us and move beyond us, sorry about your damn luck. So here's an invitation. Matt, Jeff, we don't care about any damn draft, any damn brand split. Come here on Revolution next week and show that you're really better than us in that ring. So I guess a challenge possibly for Revolution. We'll just have to see it. This gets a 77. And we have our big tag team match. Jesus Christ, I should have done more tag team matches with these guys. Holy shit. I mean, this could have been our main event. This is one of our best tag team matches ever. One of our best matches ever. I mean, honestly, this is a 15-minute, this is like a SmackDown 6 level fantastic tag team match. I mean, we got Lance Storm doing technical work, Shelton Benjamin suplexing people, Booker T doing Booker T stuff, Kidman being a cocky for heel, maybe even doing a little flying, maybe Benjamin and Kidman lock up for a bit, Storm and Kidman, do some double team, Booker and Shelton fire back, but basically probably just some big bomb throwing near the end, T-bone suplexes, Houston hangovers, locking the Maple Leafs, hitting the Kid Crusher for a near fall with Shelton making the save for Booker. And things eventually break down, but then Booker drops Kidman with a huge bookend. 1, 2, 3, and a big time victory for Booker and Shelton here on Revolution. As this gets a 96, Shelton gets a 68, Booker gets a 76, and really Kidman and Storm carry this with a 93 and a 92. But post-match, the babyface celebrate along with Charmel, and this gets a 71. And then we cut backstage where Johnny Lawler is doing, doing some workout, and oh shit, okay. This should be Trisha Sky, not Nikita Kalt, so ignore that it's, yeah. This should be Trisha Sky, not Nikita Kalt. Jesus Christ, dumb booking. Anyway, so Joni Lawler, should be working out. Trisha Sky comes in and says, so I saw about that tag match next week, and you enjoy and I want to just say, we've had our battles, we've had our wars, but I respect you, Joni. And look, I lost the title fair and square. That was the end of it. So I want to say, next week, good luck, go out there and kick some ass. So, Joni says, I don't need your well wishes, because I am the ninth wonder of the world, but so be it. So still a little bit, Joni's basically a face by default, and she's still kind of, still a heel in practice, but, she's facing worse, so she's still a babyface, at least for now. And then we got a recap focusing on, of course, Magnificent Martin Jack becoming the U.S. champion. And then, okay. So, this is the match I would expect to get 100. Like, this is the kind of match I expect to get a random 100 on a TV show. But Jesus Christ, this is a fantastic, okay. I mean, it's Ray Jr., it's AJ Styles, it's Rob Van Dam, it's Chuck Palumbo. I mean, we've seen great Ray RVD matches. Lots of flips, AJ flying around, him going after Palumbo going after AJ, Palumbo and Ray Jr. having, firing back their little feud, Rob Van Dam and AJ having good spots backing each other, and really, they just get into a groove where we have, good, couple minute segments between everybody involved, but eventually, things break the hell down, as Palumbo knocks, AJ out of the top ring, they start brawling, AJ hits a side moonsault to the outside into a DDT on Palumbo. Raven Rain tries to help out her man. AJ pushes her aside. Big fight. Palumbo throws throws AJ up the ramp. They continue to fight back in the ring. Rob Van Dam hits Rey Mysterio Jr. with the big rolling thunder. Goes up top. 5-star spark flash. No. Ray gets his knees up. They both are down. They still get up. RVD charges Ray again. Ray's ready for him. Takedown. 619. West Coast pop. Paul Heyman tries to get involved. Punches him. RVD slowly recovers. Springboard. Hurricanrana. 1, 2, 3. Ray and AJ pick up the victory. AJ gets a 94. Ray gets a 96. Palumbo gets an 87. RVD gets an 85. And overall, this show gets us a 96. So yeah. After being so close, back-to-back 100s. Jesus. Wow. Good stuff. So yeah, honestly, you could say, it's really a tale of two shows, almost accidentally. Nitro's all the hot angles, and I don't say crap in the ring, but sort of in the ring. And, Revolution's more of the wrestling-focused show, I guess, kind of. But yeah. His stats were okay, but I just didn't have anything for him to do. Alright, solid stuff. So there's some spoilers in the storylines, so I'm not gonna get into that. Oh, also, I don't think you guys might not have saw that. Where are we? Okay, that's an interesting stable. But no, hold on. Well, Channel Max back, A for him, so Sergeant Slaughter, but no, there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Or maybe not. I guess it wouldn't be news. Yeah. Very weird that, Chris Roxy leaving, but, so, again, maybe I'm just being blind here, but, Scott Hall has left the WWE. His contract ran out, they didn't extend it, and honestly, he's not that good, and he's really not that over anymore, so there's no point to bring him in. He can maybe, I don't know, do what he needs to do. But anyway, if we go to what WWE has been up to, we look over at Starrcade, or not Starrcade, but SmackDown. So, they had Veronica Vane defeated Cherry Slice. Honestly, decent match, 73. Marty Jannetty and Streets to Suburbs defeated Mafia Mac and the Little Fellas. So yeah, Dan Maff is now on the main roster. And he's not doing terribly. Same thing with Marty Jannetty. They're around. We had Christian defeat Mark Henry in a tables match. Val Venus defeat Scott Hall in his go away match. Interesting. And then we had The Undertaker defeat John Cena. So basically, John Cena's just like doing the, basically, he had his debut last week against, it was Regal. Now he's facing Taker. So interesting stuff. Shawn Michaels defeated Animal. Remember, Michael's still the heel world champion. And main event was Lesnar and Benoit defeated Billy Gunn. Oh no, he's not anymore. He lost to Edge. Sorry, but he's still here. And Lesnar and Benoit defeated Gunn and Regal in a random 97, because of course it was. At least this makes a little more sense, because I can imagine Billy Gunn being carried by 2005 era Regal, Benoit, and Lesnar. Anyway, if we go to our dev fed, and Wildside TV. Let's see here. What else do you guys even care about? I guess Tony Jones is still here. Yeah. Ryan Drago's getting there. Up top of the card, not really much going on here. Weekly house show. Let's see here. Ryan Drago defeated Kurt Stallings. Again, regen, and a guy I sort of like just hired because he had good chemistry with a random tag team. We had Jimmy Rave defeated Austin Creed. Onyx defeated Adam. Okay, so actually what I can do here now is for our dev fed. Goodbye. So the person who won the contract, one of his, like, you can get rid of a dev wrestler and he chose Adam Ortiz. I just kept him on because he was still a champion, because I'm weird like that where I don't want to like fire people while they're champion. But yeah, it is what it is. And then if we go to American Wrestling Queens, they had their weekly show, which had Portia Perez defeat Madison Eagles by countout. Had Tracy Taylor, Madison Clare, and Michelle McCool defeat Carly Chambers, MC Kerr, and Mason Kong. Miss Molly defeat Cindy Rogers in Rogers Goodbye, and Miss Molly Osaka becoming the AWQ champion. Then we had Ladies Night, which had MC Kerr defeat Annette Blanchard. Madison Eagles, Madison Clare, and Michelle McCool defeat Carly Chambers, Mason Kong, Perez. Miss Molly defeats Cindy Rogers in Goodbye, and Molly Osaka defeat Ariel again. So fun stuff for them. If we go over to the HWA, their weekly show was, well, actually a decent show, big show here. We had Alex Shelley, Falaba, and Cavavento defeat Sally Young, Estrada, and Darren Corbin. So interesting stuff. We had Barry Brandberg defeat Dana Rodimer. We had Matt Striker defeat Mustafa Ali, who's like 17. And Pierce defeat Excalibur. And yeah. So yeah, main event was, honestly, you could argue two of the more powerful men in wrestling today, between Pierce being a prominent backstage agent guy and Excalibur being Excalibur. So then we go to Ohio Valley. And Ohio Valley is, let's see here, anything of note. Beth Phoenix and AJ Sparks versus Lucy Fur, aka Daphne, and Elise Vizvez. Danny Rock, Peter, Mitch Page, Kathleen Shark Boy, Danny Doring, Riptide defeated Lizzie Borden. Interesting. And for the second half of the weekly loop, some regions in action. Trent Breaker versus Insane Dragon. Sure, that's a match. And yeah, nothing really much of note. And let me see here. So again, we go to the rest of the world. Going back to Revolution. So let's see here. Oh yeah, AAA had a really big show. Correctas and Gentes. Let's see. Let's go over the big matches. The Scotto and winning combination defeated Silver King, El Texano, and Antonio Cortez. So Cortez is a regen who's actually got a decent push and then we got Cerebro, El Orniato, and Picuda. Then we had the Syndicate of Vampire Warrior. So Lestat, that's his WWE gimmick that I gave him. Gangrel, Piero Guerrero Jr. and Phantasma defeated Felino, Conan, and Sabu for the AA America's Trios title in 78. Charlie Mesa defeated Super Calo in a cage match. Blue Demon Jr. and Bad Habit defeated Halloween, Psychosis, and La Parka 2. So not the La Parka we know, but the other La Parka eventually became Super Parka. And yeah, so Blue Demon Jr., Olympico, and okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Brute Force defeated Omega Squad. And then in the main event, in an 87, Hector Garza defeated Sarmenico and I'll connect in a tables match. Not sure how that would exactly work, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Anything else of note? AWQ, which I already showed you guys. WC had a big show. Let's see here. Things you guys would care about. This Buffalo and Shane Sewell defeated Al Montevo and Tiger Singh, and Lex Luger defeated Apollo. So there we go. And Iron had a show. Frankie Kazarian defeated Nick Jackson. Brett Albright defeated Bison Smith. Scott Lawson and Super Dragon defeated the West Side Players. This is really proto PWG, and Mike Amonis defeated Vic Cabri. And then we had Ring of Honor, aka Ring of Violence. Feel the Burn. Let's see here. Anything of note? Daisy Hayes defeated Ann Kowalski and Super Morgan. Joel Maxwell defeated Quiet Storm. Dixie defeated Alex Shelley. And Icarus defeated Mike Quackenbush. So yeah, that is what it is. So yeah, there. Oh, and Noah had a big show, which I completely forgot about. So let's see what they did. Samoa Joe defeated Masao Inoue. Again, Samoa Joe. We had Shane Douglas and Taiyo Isuda defeated Kanemaru and Ichimiya. We had Fujita defeating Kenta Rashiga in a 82. We had Kenta Kobashi and Kei Kenta defeat Kikuchi in a 80. We had Ogawa defeat Taue in a 68. So yeah, something happened to Taue. He hit his yeah, I might have to look into this, but he seemed to hit his down. I don't know what happened, if there's some narrative or he just hit physical ability, but he hit it hard, and he's now actually out of Noah. And then also we had Akiyama defeat Takayama in a random 89 because of course it was. I actually want to look that up real quick. So let me just do a quick search here. Taue. Okay, so he didn't have a injury. Right, he's confirmed to be leaving Noah. So let me just look at his skills. Okay, so yeah, Pure Suit. Yeah, he's dropped 5 points in the last year. Other stuff, Psych, he's only okay, but yeah, he's down 3 points. Flashiness is now nothing. Technical's down to nothing. Basics, I mean, stamina's down. Yeah, he's just falling apart here, unfortunately. And it's sad because in real life he was a solid wrestler until basically a couple of years ago. But yeah, if you look at his match history, 2003. He's still throwing out. I mean, he was still already slowing down here, but 66. And even at at the start of this year, he could still work as Ogawa. He could still pull out as Oops, that's the show. Yeah, he could still pull off an 89. He could still be carried. He was at a 51. But yeah, now he's just can't do it. Ogawa and him have had a bunch of bad matches, unfortunately. So yeah, too bad for that. So sort of a sad version of real life. But anyway, so that's it for now. If you enjoyed this, go and give it a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content. That's for now. Talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.